Hello everyone, my name is Michaela. Welcome to my channel Cooking with Michaela Tummy Bliss. As the name of my channel suggests, the recipes that you will find here or the kind of food that I make, well, it's not only supposed to bliss your taste buds. Of course, food needs to be enjoyable and delicious, but also to bliss your tummy, in the sense that the food that I prepare is anti-inflammatory. Very often it is low carb, like 90% of the cases, and it's meant to provide the needed nutrition for your body so you feel a sense of physical well-being, your energy levels are high, and your tummy feels good after you eat, as opposed to go, oh my God, why did you eat this? And feel heavy and bloated and generally not okay. So what are we cooking today? My husband is Japanese. He likes to eat rice. At home we do not eat rice that often because rice is high in carbs. We try to avoid that. But today I am going to surprise him and I'm going to cook for him a Japanese dish that is called okowa, and that basically is rice that has been steamed together with beautiful root vegetables, some chicken thigh meat, and all that would be simmered, sauteed and simmered in fragrant sesame oil and my secret sauce. So you would say, Michaela, you said low carb. Yes, this dish is not low carb, but it's also very well balanced because the amount of rice is going to be low and the amount of veggies and chicken is going to be the dominant in this meal. And also, even if you're on a ketogenic diet, now and again you have to cycle back and have some good carbs, and I believe that this meal is suitable for that part of your diet. Now, what are the ingredients that we will use? Since this is a rice dish, I will start by introducing the rice. I'm going to use 1 cup of polished white rice. And again, you may ask, why are you using white rice as opposed to brown rice that everybody says is more nutritious? And perhaps, yes, the brown rice has more minerals and also has more fibers, but unfortunately, it's also very high in lectins. Lectins are proteins that are a part of the husk of the rice grain that are very detrimental to our digestive system. So I try to avoid that, and to compensate for, the lower amount of fiber and vitamins or minerals, of course I'm going to use more vegetables. So 1 cup of polished white rice. Normally that is 180 cc in Japan, or 3/4 of an ordinary American cup. Please make sure that you wash your rice well before you cook it, even if it is not necessary, even if that is said, no need to wash on the package, because when you wash it again, you wash again more of the possible lectins that the rice contains, and also you wash away the extra starch. So the next thing that I'm going to add is 1 boneless chicken leg that I'm also going to take the skin away, and I will cut into bite-sized pieces, really small pieces. Then I'm going to use 1 carrot. I am going to use 1 Ringy mushroom, or you can use whatever other Asian mushroom you have. If you have shiitake, then just use 2 or 3 medium-sized shiitake mushrooms. This is what I have at home today, so this is what I will use. Then I will use something that may be optional for you. This is lotus root. If you have an Asian store nearby, you may be able to find it. If you don't, just skip it. It will still be delicious. And then I'm going to use about 30 centimeters of well scrubbed burdock root, or gobo in Japanese. Something about the burdock root and the lotus root is that once you cut them, they oxidize very quickly and they begin to turn brown. For that reason, here I have a bowl of water, so the moment that I slice them, I'm going to put them in the water so they keep their nice light color. Then for sauteing, I'm going to use fragrant sesame seed oil, and my secret sauce that you may have seen in other of my recipes is the organic coconut aminos that I use instead of the combination of soy sauce and mirin, which is sweet sake, very high in sugar, soy sauce, very high in sodium, that I try to avoid. So the coconut aminos, they are a very good substitute to that. And I'm going to take probably about 2 tablespoonfuls of my husband's sake. Don't tell him that, please. And I will add to the vegetable and chicken mixture while I am sauteing and simmering for flavor. Now let's start chopping. I will start by cutting the chicken first, and I will show you what I'm after. Of course, if there is some extra fat or any parts of the chicken thigh that you do not like, please cut them away. And I initially took the skin off. So what I am after is actually sizes that are less than bite sizes, probably something as big as this. Once the chicken is ready, now it is time to peel off the skin from the lotus root. So I use a peeler. I find that very, very convenient. And then I am going to cut the lotus root into thin slices. Then I'm going to cut those into smaller pieces again. Basically, what I am after are pieces of vegetables and meat, chicken, that are relatively the same in size, because then that will allow them to cook evenly. So here's my lotus root, and to make it easier, I'm just going, I'm going to cut it in 2 first, and then I'm going to slice it thinly. This is the thinness that I am after. It's about 2 millimeters or so, kind of thin. I have no idea how much 2 millimeters is in inches. And then I'm going to cut each half into quarters. So I am left with pieces small as this. And then I will add the lotus root. I will put it in water right away, otherwise it will turn brown. Next, I'm also going to cut the burdock. Let me just take the ends off. Now the burdock is interesting because the way that we usually cut it in Japan is we kind of cut slivers of it in the same way that you will sharpen a pencil. So if you can, if you want, give it a try. Burdock root, by the way, is available in most ordinary supermarkets. If you go to the vegetable section, you don't need to have an Asian store there. It is extremely beneficial to your gut microbiome, because it is very rich in inulin, I believe it is called, which is a kind of fiber that your gut bugs love. It's kind of, you know, the best food for them. So I love using burdock root in my recipes. Not to mention that it's also delicious and has a great flavor. So here's what my little slivers look like. And again, the moment that I cut them, I will add them in the cold water together with the lotus root. And if you find it difficult to sharpen the burdock root, then just, you know, put it on your cutting board and start rotating it in a way, and cut a little, cut a little, cut a little. It will do the very same thing. So the next thing that I will do is I will cut my ringy mushroom, and I will again try to, you know, to cut it in the same thickness, which is about 2 millimeters thin. If you're cutting shiitake, then just, you know, do the same, cut it thinly. And let me just finish cutting here. And lastly, peel your carrot, and let's cut that as well. Japanese carrots tend to be thicker than what I usually see in the US. So if you have a thinner carrot, then just use it the way that it is. In my case, I'm going to cut this carrot into 4 pieces, into quarters, and then I will start again, you know, kind of rotate it and cut a little piece from each side. The reason for that is that the shape is going to be irregular. The Japanese, they love that. They don't like regular shapes. So as you can see, it's, you know, not any defined shape at all. Just make sure that you don't cut it very thick, because then of course it won't cook very well. And now that the carrots have been cut as well, it's time to start sauteing the chicken and then the vegetables as well. So in a skillet, just heat up your skillet. Oh, here is my sesame seed oil. Add 1.5 tablespoons of sesame seed oil. Just keep in mind that this oil will go not only in the vegetables and meat that you are sauteing and simmering, but it will also go into the rice. So that's not a lot. And then I will add the chicken, and I will lightly saute that until it starts changing its color. And once it does, I will add the vegetables as well. I will show you in a moment what I am after. So as you can see, the chicken is beginning to change its color. So just stir it and also turn around the pieces. So as you can see, the chicken is beginning to change its color. You don't need to cook it thoroughly, but just stir it so it is sauteed evenly. And once the chicken has changed its color, once it has been sauteed lightly, then just let's add the vegetables there, carrots, mushrooms, and now I am going to drain. Like, if you look at the water, by the way, can you see that it's quite brown? So now you know why I put the burdock root and the lotus root in water. Otherwise, this brown color would have been, you know, not very pleasant to look at on the vegetables themselves. So again, leave them in the pan to saute for 2-3 minutes. Stir them occasionally so the oil, the sesame seed oil covers everything evenly, and stirring from time to time. Let them saute at medium heat. So here are the vegetables. Just stir them from time to time and allow them to saute for 2-3 minutes. And while the vegetables and the chicken are being cooked, I'm going to make the sauce that we will simmer them in. So I need about probably 50-60 cc of coconut aminos, and to that I'm going to add about 50 cc of water, and to that I am going to add a teeny pinch of salt, just a little bit, because the coconut aminos are less salty than the soy sauce, so I kind of want to compensate for that. And this is my husband's favorite sake. It's so good. It's called Nabeshima. But if you don't have sake at home, I'm just going to use a cupful of that. If you don't have sake at home, don't worry about it. You can either skip it, or you can try adding a little white wine or cooking wine. I think the flavor would be different, but why not? Try something else, then let me know how it went. So let me show you what the veggies are like. So here they are. Again, I will stir them lightly. I just want, you know, for them to absorb each other's flavor. And then I'm going to add the sauce. Whoops. Here you go. And I will increase the heat to probably medium high. And then I will let them simmer for about 4 or 5 minutes. I don't need them to be completely cooked, because then they will be actually really cooking with the rice. I just want them to soften a little bit. By the way, what I would like to suggest that you do is, while the veggies and the chicken are simmering in the sauce, have a teeny bit of it, just scoop it with a spoon and try it. It's so good. It's absolutely delicious. There's so many flavors that go into it, both the chicken that gives it umami and also the veggies. If you like your sauce, then I guarantee that the okola, the dish that we're cooking, is going to be delicious as well. So cook the veggies until probably like 2/3 of the sauce is gone. We want the vegetables to get the flavors of the sauce and also to be lightly cooked, and then we're just going to pour it the way that it is in the rice. So speaking of the rice, Now it's time to prepare our rice to get it ready. I'm going to use a rice cooker. If you don't have a rice cooker, I will add in the description to the video what you can do and cook it in an ordinary pot with a heavy lid. So again, wash the rice well. If there is any starch, your water, the rice water should be, well, it's never completely clear because it is a starchy grain, right? But the clearer you can get it, the better. I think that in my case, twice probably is enough. And then I am just going to add as much water as when I cook 1 cup of rice. Just use the measurement there and don't add more water. You don't need more or your rice is going to get mushy. The vegetables, they are already semi-cooked and they do not need any extra help with liquid to get soft. All right, so I think that they're ready to be added. In a moment, I'll show you what they look like. As you can see, most of the liquid has been evaporated and we see those bubbles because it is thickening. So this is a good sign that it's time to add this to the rice. Okay, time to add the vegetables and the chicken to the rice. So just add everything, add the liquid as well. And mix well. So the water for the rice and the vegetables, they would get mixed up well. So, okay, maybe it's better if I show you from a different angle. Here you go. As you can see, the rice is mainly underneath, so don't expect it to kind of come to the surface. That's fine. And now it is time to put the rice in the rice cooker and then set it as you would set to cook ordinary rice. It does not need to be any other program. It doesn't need to be different. So just say, let me see, and we're set. Once it is ready, I will show you what it looks like. And here's what the ready Ocoa looks like. Just make sure that you mix it well, because otherwise the veggies would be on the top. All right, so now it's time to serve the Ocoa. I want to choose a little bit darker bowl perhaps, so it will stand out. If I had something in black, that would look even nicer. But here it is. And I am also going to garnish it with some daikon radish sprouts for color and also for flavor. You can do that if you like. Here is what it looks like. You can use any colorful sprouts, or if you have a herb that you enjoy, that would be great. And now it's time to sample it. I'm just going to have a little bite of rice. I'm sorry, it's delicious. I keep saying that, but it's really so good because it has this sweetness to it. And of course, it's also salty, it's savory and sweet at the same time without using any sugar whatsoever, and it is so flavorful. With a bowl of miso soup and a bit of greens on the side, a little side salad, I think it will make a very nice light dinner. and a very hearty one as well on this cold winter day. Thank you for joining me in making dinner today. It's always fun to have you around, much better than doing it on my own. And if you enjoyed the video, please give it a like on YouTube. If you are interested in learning more healthy and anti-inflammatory recipes, you can join Tummy Bliss's Facebook group. Or if you would like to receive notifications when a new video is posted, which is usually once a week, please consider subscribing to my channel. Thank you very much again, and see you in our next video. Goodbye.